Lesson 47 is all about evaluation of exponential expressions and radicals. And our problems are going to look something like this to begin. What we want to do is evaluate m squared if m is equal to 9. Now, in this problem, m squared, we have a variable squared. And it's nice because the problem tells us if m is equal to 9. So instead of saying m, well, we know m is equal to 9, so we're going to substitute that value of 9 in for m, and we're going to square it. And we know 9 squared, that's equal to 9 times 9, which must be equal to 81. So we've got our final answer. Whenever we substitute a value in for a variable like we did, we want to put it in parentheses. Okay? We'll keep doing that on each of the problems that we go through in this lesson. Let's move on to our next question. This one we want to evaluate. 4 to the xth power if x is equal to 3. So again, we've got a variable here, 4 to the xth. We want to know what this expression is equal to if x were equal to 3. So let's substitute that in. We're going to say 4 to the third power, and we're going to always put our value for our variable in parentheses as we go. So 4 to the third power is equal to 4 times 4 times 4. We break this into two parts. We know 4 times 4 is 16. And then we can figure out what 16 times 4 is. 16 times 4, you might know it with mental math. That's fantastic. 16 times 4. 4 times 6 is going to give us 24. We're going to carry our 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 more gives us 6. We've got 64. So our answer is going to be equal to 64. We've got it right here. We could box it, and we're done with our problem. We've evaluated 4 to the xth power if x is equal to 3 by using substitution within parentheses. Let's move on to our next problem. Now, we want to evaluate the nth root of 64. Again, that's the nth root of 64 if n is equal to 3. So the problems are telling us what that variable is equal to. It's nice. It makes it a lot easier to solve. It makes it possible to solve and evaluate. So we're going to get the third root of 64. And again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in parentheses. Whenever you substitute in, you should put parentheses around your value. So we need to figure out what number multiplied by itself 3 times is equal to 64. Now, we know that 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 27. We've seen that before. So the next number we're going to want to try, since 27 is smaller than 64, would be 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, and 16 times 4, well, 16 times 4. What could 16 times 4 be? Remember, if we go back to the previous page or look up on your notes, 16 times 4, we just did it. 16 times 4, that's 64. Perfect. So we've got our answer. The third root of 64 is going to be equal to 4 because we multiply 4 by itself 3 times in order to get to 64. We've evaluated this expression. Alright, we've got another one. Now we want the third root of n if n is equal to 27. So we're going to substitute the value of 27 in for n so we can find out what our answer is. We've got the third root of 27. We're going to put that 27 in parentheses because we should always put what we substitute in parentheses. And we need to figure out what number times itself 3 times is equal to 27. What do you think? Hopefully you said 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 27. So our answer, the third root of 27, it's equal to 3. And we're all done. We've got the answer to that problem. We've evaluated this expression given that n is equal to 27. Alright, our lesson practice will be on page 155. We'll work on some more problems like this. Make sure you've got your notes completed, and I'll see you during our next class.